I'm back for another episode of the Eternal Idols, but this time, this week, before I get into the album, I want to discuss the things leading into the next album I'm going to talk about. First, as you recall, the last episode was about Born Again with Ian Gillan. Gillan left to reform Deep Purple. I'm going to start with the That was my first of the day. Anyway, there'll be plenty more to come. Anyway, to come. He left, so they try to get their shit together. And while they're trying to get their shit together, the impossible happened. At the height of Ozzy Osbourne's career, he agreed to do a reunion with Black Sabbath for one little show, 3 songs at Live Aid. And I remember this moment when I first heard about it on MTV. I was so psyched, and then I remember it was going to be early in the morning. It was one of the first bands in the morning. It was going to be the original Sabbath getting together, and I had my VCR ready. I'm ready to go, and they say Black Sabbath coming up next, and I was so fucking excited. And then they showed some commercials, and when the commercials was over, as you see here, they don't even have the full song. They cut into halfway through my favorite fucking song, Children of the Grave. Bummed me out, but still was so excited to see my fucking favorite band of all time got back together. The original 4, kicking ass. Ozzy sounded good. He was very bloated, and he was very getting into his Ultimate Sin era glam. As you see glam Ozzy there, the way he's dressed, I call it glossy. Anyway, they played Children of the Grave, they played Iron Man, and they played Paranoid, and that was it. It was over. So they got Bill and Geezer to agree to do this another project with another singer. They were looking for somebody singer. This time Tony wanted somebody unknown because he didn't want to deal with egos and stuff like that. So they got this guy. Well, they first auditioned Ron Keel from the band Keel, and previously from Steeler. That was the Yngwie Malmsteen's not first band, but first band here in the States. Then he did his solo project, the Keel band. Well, he didn't work out. They didn't even hire him, really. So then they got a guy called David Donato, and I guess he worked out because they had a photo shoot with him, as you can see here. But then soon after that didn't work out. And then Bill left the band. He didn't, I guess, I don't know what the hell his problem was. He just left. And then Geezer left after him. So it was like Tony was all fucking alone. This is a fucking disaster. So Tony was like, fuck it. I want to make a solo album. So his initial thought of making a solo album, he was going to do it with different singers. And the singers he had in mind was Ronnie James Dio, Rob Halford, and Glenn Hughes. But because of record company weasels and all this bullshit contracts and blah blah, it didn't work out. Except Glenn Hughes was the only one that didn't give no problems from their accountants and managers and all this shit. So Glenn Hughes came in and he wrote a couple songs, and that is the beginning of episode 12. This is the 7 Star. Seven stars. You can see I got the deluxe edition, so I'll be talking about the bonus disc that comes in. A lot of cool shit in here, you know. It has a cool book, a lot of pictures, and the CDs. And I just want to talk about how this initially went. When they recorded this, Tony Iommi was all fucked up on drugs, and so was Glenn Hughes. They were both fucked up on drugs, but Glenn Hughes delivered, man. Even fucked up on drugs, that guy is an amazing singer. So they formed this band right here, as you can see. Here you have Jeff Nichols, who's finally getting a little credit here. Somebody at the Black Sabbath board corrected me when I was talking about Greg Gruber in the Heaven and Hell, and he said actually it was this guy right here, Glenn Hughes. Jeff Nichols, who played bass on that album. Then Geezer came in. That's a whole other story. It wasn't Greg Gruber, it was this guy. Anyway, he never got credit for shit. Well, this time he did, and supposedly he wrote a lot on this album as well. Then you have Eric Singer here. Eric Singer, who is now in Kiss, playing a scab Peter Criss, that's a whole other story. That's blasphemy. He should take off that fucking makeup. That's fucking gay. And here we have Tony Iommi, the only original member, and Glenn Hughes. I mean, look at him there, man. God damn. Doesn't look too happy there. It's pretty fucked up. And right here on bass, Dave the Beast Spitz. Now, I don't mean to like brag or anything, but this guy right here, I have his phone number, man. I actually know this guy personally. Not a close friend, but he knows me, man. He knows my name, and I've talked to him, and I filmed his Black Sabbath tribute band, War Pigs. He's a monster on bass, Dave the Speech. I actually got somebody that was in Black Sabbath on my fucking phone, man. Both Dave the Beast Spitz and Eric Singer were members of Lita Ford's band at one point. I read this, which I found kind of odd because she only had 2 albums out at the time, Out for Blood and Dressed to Kill, not Dressed to Kill, Dancing on the Edge. And neither one of those albums featured either one of these members. You know, Eric or Dave weren't on those albums. But at the time, Lita Ford was engaged to Tony Iommi. They were going to get married, and they didn't. I know it ended bad. Any comments about
what can you say, really? Can I have my ring back?
Tony did this, right? And he says he wants his ring back. And he pulled out a picture of me out of his bag. Well, I just want to tell Tony that it's too late. I sold it.
When Glenn did this album, he looked at it as a Tony Iommi album. He wasn't thinking of Black Sabbath while he was singing this, but he was pretty much himself. I mean, very bluesy, kick-ass voice. And, but then, you know, he was shocked when it turned into a Black Sabbath thing. So let's get started. In for the Kill. I read Glenn Hughes say he doesn't like this song too much. Well, he's wrong. It's a great song. It starts off fucking pummeling. It's a great fucking, it's a heavy fucking song. It's so different. It's more like Tony Iommi trying to be modern, 80s in a way, you know? It's like so un-Tony Iommi-ish with the riff and the drum beat. Kind of like Tony, I don't know, I wouldn't go as far to say following the leader, but it was the closest he did come. It doesn't really sound like Iommi that much, but it is a great fucking rocking song, man. I love it for the Kill. No Stranger to Love. This is the ballad, the video, the single of the album. Very odd. I remember the first time I saw this, I was like, what the fuck? But I was young and stupid. I didn't realize how intense Glenn Hughes' voice really was. Even though I did own the Deep Purple, even Come Taste the Band back then. I always loved his voice, but I love this song much more now than I did back then because it was just a blow. But with Stranger to Love, it's the video. It's featuring Bing Crosby's niece, I think. That blonde girl that's a ghost, that's haunting Tony Iommi. And it's a stupid video, but then again, that's how 80s videos were. They were mostly all stupid. Turn to Stone. This song cranks, man. It's a kick-ass fucking song. It's again like Tony being modern, but I just love the shit out of the song. And I really have nothing more to say about it because, you know, my YouTube videos, I can only do it for 15 minutes, so I gotta squeeze this motherfucker in since I talked about the reunion and the forming of this band. So, In for the Kill, kick ass. Sphinx, The Guardian, an instrumental track, very short, going into the title track, the 7 Star, which is the most Tony Iommi-ish type riff. I mean, this one is very, he said, hey, fuck it, this is my solo album, but let me put a little Sabbath-y vibe in this shit. So pretty much, that's pretty much the most Sabbath sounding song off this album. I love this song. It's a cool title track. Again, I love it because Glenn Hughes delivers as well. It's a great fucking song. What's it about? What's it about? What's it about? What the fuck am I? What the fuck's wrong with my stutter? You notice I stutter because I'm in a hurry. I'm in a hurry. But what this song's about, I'll let Tony tell you about it.
7th Star. That's about when 7 planets line up with the destruction of the universe. And the rebirth, Socket Destruction rebirth, it's more like a Nostradamus sort of thing.
Danger Zone. I love, this is the first song I ever heard off this album. This is a song that I heard, there used to be an old radio show back in the 80s. I wonder if any of you would remember, because it was a syndicated radio show called Metal Shop, the only show with teeth. Well, that's the first song I heard from the Blue Black Sabbath, from Danger Zone. Freaked me out. I go, oh, I gotta buy this shit. Don't say it's my favorite. No, I don't know what my favorite song on this album is. I'd have to think about it. Anyway, Danger Zone kicks ass. Hard Like a Wheel. Very bluesy fucking number, and Glenn Hughes, again, probably his best performance on this fucking song as far as like spilling his guts out. I love the fuck out of this song. It grew on me though. And back then I was like, whatever, but now it kind of grew on me. But what really freaks me out about this fucking song is the solo. The solo is so fucking badass. I'm gonna stay quiet so you can hear the Shred Fest by Mr. Iommi. Shit, man, that is some fucking shredding. God, I love Tony Iommi. He really delivers on that fucking song. Angry Heart, another song. It's a good song. I don't want to say it's a filler because they played it live, so obviously they didn't think it was a filler. But Angry Heart, it's an okay song. It's not bad. It's pretty cool. It's, again, Glenn Hughes delivers, fucking kicks ass, a little commercial-ish, but it's cool. In Memory, the very last song on the album. This is Tony Iommi's dad passed away around that time, and he wanted to write a song about him, and it's a beautiful song, very touching, man. I love it. So that ends it, but on this deluxe version, it has the single version of No Stranger in Love, which is kind of like the version you see in that video. So kind of throwaway, it doesn't even matter. So then we go into Disc 2. Now Disc 2 is a live recording from the Hammersmith Odeon. And this does not have Glenn Hughes singing on it because Glenn Hughes only played 5 shows on the Seven Star Tour, because what happened was, number one, he was fucked up on drugs. And he got in an altercation, a fight, with somebody that was in Black Sabbath staff, who punched him in the nose so fucking hard, it like, something happened with his eye socket and his nose, something like, and he also had blood in his throat, and according to him, man, this happened right before the tour started, and he said he couldn't sing worth a shit. And they did 5 shows, and he said it was disastrous. So, they brought in Ray Gillen, man, and his version of it was, they brought Ray Gillen on the road just in case Glenn fucks up. And Glenn didn't know this. Glenn's like, who's this guy hanging out? He didn't know, but it was actually Ray Gillen. And I got a little news clip here from MTV describing how Ray Gillen got in the band.
Ray is an old friend of Sabbath bassist Dave Spitz. And when Ray visited Dave backstage after Sabbath's New Jersey Meadowlands gig last week, Dave introduced him to guitarist Tony Iommi. He auditioned for Tony on the way to the next show, and Ray got a standing O from Sabbath fans at the New Haven, Connecticut Coliseum. And Tony says Ray is now Sabbath's permanent vocalist. Great break.
The bonus disc on here is live. It doesn't sound that great, man. I figured they would have touched it up a little bit. It's almost like a glorified bootleg. But no, I mean, it has some cool shit. It has Mob Rules and Danger Zone, War Pig, 7 Star, Die Young, Black Sabbath, NIB, Neon Nights, and Paranoid. It's good to have because it's Ray Gillen. Ray Gillen was an amazing fucking singer, man. So that's it. That's my review of the deluxe edition of the Black Sabbath 7 Star album. I don't consider it a Black Sabbath album. I like all the albums that came out before, but I do love this album. I consider it a Tony Iommi album. Anyway, that's the end of this episode, and I want to leave you with this. I'm not going to talk about your mom this week. I'm going to give her a break. I'm going to talk about your dad. Listen to him. This video is brought to you by Miami Metal Merchant. For your metal needs and competitive prices, visit MiamiMetalMerchant.com. Tell them Dr. Fuck sent you. Hey, check out my podcast, The VIERA Vault. We're on SPREAKER, we're on iTunes, and we're on YouTube. Check it out and subscribe. Hey, headbangers, you want your own radio show? Well, you got it. On Thursday nights here on that metal station, join me on the Dr. Fuck Show. Go in the chat room and I will make you my co-host. That's right. Everybody that joins me in the chat room, I discuss whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll mention your name, I'll say what you say, and we're going to go back and forth. And I'll even fucking play whatever request you want. Unless it sucks. Then I ain't playing it because my show rules and only songs that rule is allowed right here on that metal station. The Dr. Fuck Show airs live Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. Hope to see you there. Well, no, fuck that hope. I better see you there, motherfucker.
Looking for some new podcasts to listen to? Well, Rat Salad Review Network has plenty of shows to choose from. Like Rat Salad Review, where they discuss the latest rock and metal news, as well as interviews and albums. Album vs. Album, the King Diamond Podcast, with Wayne Noon, Greg Norgal, and sometimes this guy.
SHMACKEMAGOB!
Ralph VIERA is also on our network with the VIERA Vault. There's also Old Man Metal's Musings, where he discusses heavy metal and beer. Music is Life with Lou Mavs. The Right Opinion for those who love politics. A South Park podcast called Suck My Balls. The Infinite Fringe, a watch-along wrestling show called Beyond Bushido, ex-Stradivarius guitarist, the Timo Tolkki podcast, and the great Harry Barnett with I Don't Even Like Podcasts. So check out ratsaladreview.com or search Rat Salad Review on YouTube, Podbeam, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, and more.